Um, thank you, Cantor, and thank you, Michael, for coordinating this. Our Torah portion talks about the special blessings that are given by the high priests when they were going to bless the people, and they said, God said, if you say this blessing, then I too shall bless the people and put my name upon them. And the blessings says, Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, may God's radiance always be favorable to you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God's countenance always be lifted up before you, and may your ways be filled with peace. These are very powerful words. They're words that help us to see that goodness is in this world. And it's a way of helping us to express our caring for another person by giving them such a blessing. We are honored to have struck up a relationship with a man named Dexter Burke. He's the Archbishop, he's got a doctorate, and he's the pastor of Walk in the Light Church of God on the north end of Hartford. Many of us who have been involved in the Shema tour and actually went to his church and sat in his pews were very, very moved by the work that he's doing. He's come to Temple. In fact, our social action project of the year is working with him and helping out the people in the north end of Hartford. I don't need to tell you, but the north end of Hartford is one of the, well, I guess one of the poorest areas in all of Connecticut. And what Archbishop Dexter Burke does is really, really incredible. He does a lot of, not only in his small church, but reaching out to people wherever they're at. Not only does he give them spiritual help, he helps them to find food, to find housing, and he's also tied into the 911 emergency system. If there's anyone who needs assistance, whether it's domestic violence, he's right there day or night. And offers a shelter for them. We've all been very inspired by him, and these times in particular are very trying times. It's important for us to see that even though there's a river that separates us, we are really in the same community, and the divisions that divide our community is mostly illusory. It's mostly an illusion. And Archbishop Dexter Burke is really our friend and a member of our community. I'm very, very honored to have him speak to us today. Archbishop Dexter Burke.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be on this morning. I greet all of you. I hope you all are staying safe. Thank you very much, Rabbi Glickman. And the cantor, you had me nodding my head. I enjoy the cantor also. Let me just give some updates on what's happening here in the north end of Hartford. I'll give you a negative first, and then I'll go to the positive. There is still things happening, but let me give you some of the negatives. Our people in the north end are still suffering. They're still struggling. They're still trying to make ends meet. With whatever little resource they have. Crime is still a factor. Violence and drought is still a factor. But as negative as that may seem, there are some positives. I've seen, due to the coronavirus, when individuals are locked inside, when individuals are isolated, when they can just stay home, I've seen a cleaner community. I've seen the north end, especially here on Garden Street, where folks come out and they're cleaning up their front driveway. They're cleaning up their sidewalk. They're cutting grass. They're helping a neighbor who may be a senior to do the same. Children are not littering and throwing
Oh, I think we lost him for a little bit. I hope he'll come back soon. Raise your hand if you do not hear the Archbishop. All right.
in grips with racial violence.
Well, it's wonderful that he was able to join us for this time. Archbishop, you need to unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry about that. My internet is going in and out. But we know that there is love, like the rabbi said, in the world, and there is hope. And so my encouragement to everyone is to advocate for peace, advocate for justice. Let's have a conversation. There are no rights and wrongs in having a conversation. Let us talk about some real issue and how we can solve them. Let us sit back and try to understand from both perspectives what is happening and what is going on. And also, let's not just, like I said recently, let's just not hold police officers accountable for their actions, but let's hold community residents accountable for their actions also. The same energy must be seen when there's violence and when there's crime. And we want to send that message also that wrong is wrong, regardless of where it's coming from. And so if we can send that, we can build a better community and we can have greater things happening. I like the message this morning. May God bless and keep you. May God countenance be lit up and be gracious to you. And indeed, those are powerful because when we have the light of God and His grace in us, and when God lifts up His countenance before us, we would understand that there is hope and there is value and there's positive things in this world. And so I encourage you, I encourage myself that regardless of the pandemic that's going on, regardless of the unrest that's going on, let us stay focused. Let us see who we can help. Let us see how we can help ourselves. Let us see how we can better ourselves so that God will be pleased with us. At the end of the day, we're just all pilgrims passing through this earth. And if we understand that, if we look at that, we will try to leave it a little better than we found it. My family and I, we're trying to do that. I thank all of you at Temple there for your support. You guys have been awesome. I mean, I could not find a better group. I could not find a better set of individuals. I would get a phone call. It will be cookies dropped off. It will be clothing dropped off. It will be supplies dropped off. And without naming names, you know yourself, you guys have been awesome. And you help me to help those that are in need. You help me to fill a void in the community. And no matter how small it may seem or how big your gift is, it goes a very, very long way. And I am very much appreciative for that because I could not do the work that I do without all of you there. You guys play an integral part in what I do. It helps. I can't tell you how many family members, they come to me and they say, especially during this time when there is not much help going on out in the community and doors are closed and food pantries are exhausted, because of you folks at Temple, you make my work so easy that I can meet out and help those that are in need. And I'm forever grateful. I know that God is smiling. He's happy with the work you guys are doing, and the recipients of it are even happier. So thank you very much. And I really appreciate your help. I just encourage you to continue supporting in any way you can, continue advocating for justice and equality, continue to just following God's word. Because if we do that, that's basic. If we just do that, we will understand how to love humanity, how to help each other, and how to do the will of God. So again, I thank you. I thank you for this partnership, Rabbi, and I'm just honored. Thank you very much.
Um, it's our honor. You do more. It's hard to believe, but Archbishop, you do more for us than we do for you. Do you have a moment for a couple of questions?
I do. I do.
All right. So if people have a question, signal by putting your hand like this, and we'll try to get you unmuted. Archbishop, first question is, how are your family? How are you and your family doing?
We're doing well. We're doing well. My wife is home from work and the kids are home, and I am out on the road every day, but it's something that I like doing. I enjoy being in the community and helping. So for me to stay home would be hard. So I love being out here, and we're doing well. We're doing well.
Can you tell us how George Floyd's death has reverberated in your community?
Well, we have two sides of it. We have those that have lived a long existence of racial inequality, and so his death has raised up a fresh wound in their life. It brings back memories of the 50s and 60s in our older generation. And then we have the younger ones who have heard of it but have not seen, and they are in some way scared, believe it or not. They're fearful when police officers go out there and whether they commit a crime or not. They're concerned for their life, and parents are concerned. And as a community leader, I'm concerned. I have two sons also, and I'm concerned for their well-being. Um, and so you see a lot of pain and a lot of hurt and a lot of anger. You see most anger at a system um, that continues to allow it to happen. And so many within the north end of Hartford, um, they're not an educated bunch who understand to contact their state legislators and their elected officials. And so they are guided oftentimes by those who may say, hey, let's just return the hate. And so our job in the community, and I've spoken to some pastors, is to educate our people. Let them understand that there's a better way. Let them understand that we need to get the legislators to change the laws on the books. And so I think the community right now it's ripe for teaching. It's an opportunity for us to teach. Teaching is necessary right now, but there's a lot of anger and hurt.
So Carol Mamlock has a question.
First of all, thank you, Archbishop Burke, for being here with us today. Appreciate it very much. Are there congregants or people in your community that might be interested in starting a dialogue through Zoom with us, with anyone from our community who is interested, and get the ball rolling that way, but through dialogue?
Most certainly. And in fact, I'm also the press and publicity chairperson for the Greater Hartford NAACP, where I sit as an executive. And I know they have been talk where we want to reach out to various groups and have a conversation, a meaningful conversation, not pointing fingers, but sort of we understand and the other side understand, and we can work together to end some of the inequality and injustice that exists, and that we can work together towards a positive outcome of this entire fiesta that's unveiling in our nation.
Carol, that is a powerful idea. I recommend that we start at 2:00 tomorrow. Dexter Burke, Archbishop Burke, the Zoom information to get on to this is the same as what I call Zoom at 2. At 2:00, anyone can come on and can begin a conversation. Why don't we aim for tomorrow at 2:00? And Archbishop, if you could spread the word to people in your community that this is the code to get on, and anyone wants to be involved in a conversation or just to meet up, well, tomorrow, that's what Zoom at 2 will be focused at. 2 o'clock,
Perfect.
go on to Zoom if you want to be a part of that conversation. Wonderful idea, Carol.
Thank you. Some of us may be at a protest rally in Glastonbury tomorrow. Judy Melikowski's granddaughter organized this, and it's going to be quite something with all kinds of representatives speaking. I will certainly try to be there at 2, but just to let you know, it's tomorrow from 12 to 3 p.m. in Glastonbury Riverfront Park.
Thank you. Laura Soul, you had a question. Laura, you have to unmute.
It's not so much a question as to just communicate with everybody who's here right now and to tell the Archbishop that we are, we are very honored to be partners with you, but especially now when so many of us in that age demographic are told that we really shouldn't be going out for any reason. It's very, very hard. And for the past few months, and I sent everyone a note yesterday with an update of how we're helping the church. We have been able to reach out, even though it's a limited way. And I tell you, so Dexter has been my coronavirus brother. He is the only reason I ever leave my house, is to bring the food and the supplies that the congregants have brought to me or have donated towards. And we're very, very honored and lucky we can continue to do that. And I just want to tell everyone on the line today that if you have things at home that you are not comfortable bringing out, please call me or email me and I will come and get them, or we'll try to see if other volunteers will help. We now are seeking clothing, summer clothing. That's an easy thing. But there still are ways that we can help and support this church, even though we're limited. So any questions, please reach out to me and we will continue to move forward. Thank you.
We're very appreciative, Laura, that you've taken such a wonderful leadership role in this and have accomplished so much good and are funneling a lot of feelings. Archbishop Burke, I don't know if you realize, but there is a tremendous amount of awe and inspiration from the people who have heard your words, and that's being communicated through notes on the on chat and stuff like that. People are very inspired. I am inspired by your work and your actions. I'm going to leave you with one last question, and that is, who inspires you? Who is doing things that you think are moving in the right direction? Who is saying things that you say, this is what people ought to hear? Who is your inspiration?
You know, it's funny. I'll answer that question in 2 parts. The conversation is not being had as yet as to where we should be going, and so it's a constant struggle for me. I'm waiting for that one person to be out there, I mean, in public, and to be vocal, so that we can take our communities, blend them together, and move on for the betterment of humanity. I'm inspired every day, as I pointed out so many times. That's my own upbringing. I'm a child of a single mother who oftentimes had to sleep in bus stops, go without food, and my mom is deceased now. But I never forget those early formative years, and that drives me. I don't want to see anyone hungry. I don't want to see anyone in need. I see my mother in every needy person, in every uneducated person. She had a 4th grade education. She sent all of her children to school, ensure we got a college degree, and teach us how to love humanity. And I remember that, and when I'm down, when I need some motivation, I go up to the cemetery and I'm revived. And so I think I'll continue to push. I'll continue to use her as my inspiration while we fight the evils of this world to make it better.
That's really, really beautiful.